I'm so sorry, y'all are just gonna have to listen to my air conditioner for this video because it is a million degrees in New York City right now. To be honest, you're probably gonna hear some thunder too. Consider it ambiance.
And all I've got to offer is sensitivity, intelligence, and charm.
What is Shonen? I mean, sure, if you watch my videos, you probably have a vague understanding that Shonen includes things like Naruto, My Hero Academia, and Dragon Ball. But what does that mean? Shonen is a genre of manga and anime that targets the demographic of boys aged 12 through 18. It usually features a young male protagonist reconciling how they view themselves with the ideas of self-discipline and service within their community. In recent years, a heavier emphasis has been placed on the coming-of-age element, the boy becoming the man, and all of that. The first shonen magazine was called Shonen Sekai, or Boys World. The magazine was first published in 1895. A spin-off magazine for the girls was published in 1906 called very feminine of me. Called Shoujo Sekai. More on that in a bit. The point of Shonen Sekai was really to foster a national identity among young boys. The magazine was very connected to the idea of little citizens. The first issue told tales of Japanese generals during the First Sino-Japanese War. Basically, the origins of shonen can be traced to national propaganda, much like American superheroes. We didn't really see the emergence of what we would consider modern shonen until after World War II. Yeah, it's Astro Boy. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, this song got a copyright strike, so this is the new Astro Boy theme song. Whoa, look at him flying. Woo woo, we love Astro Boy. Yes, he's really cool. Wow, he's got powers. Yay, Astro Boy. Please don't copyright strike me again, cause this is embarrassing. Yay! The Mighty Atom, or as you probably know it, Astro Boy, is widely considered the first modern shonen, making its premiere in 1952. Astro Boy also was the first shonen to gain international popularity with its English dub in the 1980s. The influence of Astro Boy can be seen in basically every modern shonen anime, like Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto. It's basically the granddaddy of shonen. And don't get me wrong, it was definitely still nationalist propaganda, but a bit more fun than the days of Shonen Sekai. So what we're seeing is a lot of focus on shaping the identities of young Japanese boys, making them courageous, disciplined, the best little citizens you could ask for, all while having a bit of fun. But where does that leave the girls? Shoujo! Shoujo is a genre of manga and anime that targets the demographic of adolescent girls and young women. Shoujo Sekai, which I mentioned in the shonen history section, was first published in 1906 and translates to, you guessed it, Girls' World. Shoujo Sekai actually outlived its male counterpart, publishing all the way up until 1931. Oh, I didn't mention this before, I just realized. Shonen Sekai stopped publication in 1914. So the shoujo version's got like 15 years on it. The shoujo version tended to tell tales of self-sacrifice, obeying your parents, female, friendships, you know, girl stuff. The early days of shoujo definitely crossed into Class S territory pretty often. Class S is an early 20th century genre that focuses on romantic friendships between girls. It's the 1900s gay stuff. A happy pride. Class S was banned in Japan in 1936, with the ban being lifted after World War II. If you've ever seen Revolutionary Girl Utena, Madoka Magica, or probably the most famous shoujo ever conceived, Sailor Moon, the Class S influence shouldn't be a surprise. Romance, family, and friendship are usually the name of the game when it comes to shoujo, particularly the old school stuff. However, around the 80s, we kind of saw a shift in the themes of shoujo, focusing more on female empowerment. So great, girls have their own genre too. I put the air quotes because some people say that shonen and shoujo are not technically genres, they're demographics. I'd say the content within those categories makes them their own genres, but I digress. The men in this girl genre are typically desires of affection. Desires of affection. Objects of desire. What does that mean? Objects of desire. Desires of... Ugh. Or heroes that swoop in at the last second to save the day by doing something. I'm looking at you, Tuxedo Mask.
It's Tuxedo Mask!
Shame on you, mistrust. Your lies and deceits have finally caught up with you, calling an innocent girl a cheater and turning friends against each other. Your evil games are coming to an end. Right now. So come on, hit me with the very best shot you've got.
Fine, meet my teammates!
But what about how women are represented in shonen? Well, that's the thing. Let's talk about the useless women in shonen, manga, and anime. Typically in shonen, as well as in Western cartoons, there's the main group of boys and the girl one. Never as self-determined or as important as the boys, but she's there, so you can't get mad. Probably the most famous example of this is Sakura from Naruto. Early on in the series, she has this big dramatic moment where she cuts off her hair, signifying that she's become her own person, or some such thing.
Nani? いつも好きだと言っといて、いつも二人の後ろ姿を見てただけ。私をかばって戦ってくれた。
Only to exist almost exclusively to pine after Sasuke for the rest of the series. She has this pretty badass fight during the first arc of Naruto Shippuden that got me really excited when I first saw it. I was like, wow, they're finally doing something with Sakura. But after that, it pretty quickly becomes her godlike teammates and also Sakura's there. They also do something with Sakura that drives me nuts, and it's so common. They regulate her to healer, which I'm not saying healers aren't important, but like... why is the girl always the healer? Likewise, I have a lot of issue with what they did with Temari in Naruto. She starts the story and honestly spends most of the series as a pretty good badass female character. Maybe a little bit of a Mary Sue, but she's not a member of the core cast, but it's always exciting when she's there. But of course, by the end of the series, she has to get wifed up and mommed, which... like the healer thing, is so common. Like, ugh, okay, don't even get me started on Android 18 in Dragon Ball. Another strong woman android who retires from fighting to be a stay-at-home mom. She does return to fighting with Krillin in the Tournament of Power. That's what that was called, right? Yes, the Tournament of Power, but it takes some convincing. Even the non-human women get sequestered to the home. A worse example from Dragon Ball is Chi-Chi. Do I even need to talk about Chi-Chi? She starts off as a pretty solid martial artist, competing against Goku in a tournament. But then she marries Goku and ceases to have a personality aside from nagging wife and smothering mother. I actually think every female character, with the exception of maybe Bulma, ends up giving up their dreams to be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm not saying that being a homemaker is not an honorable and worthwhile thing. It's just when it's every woman. A more modern example is Ochako in My Hero Academia. You weren't getting out of this one. She's kind of giving Sakura 2.0. Maybe not quite as egregious, but it's pretty bad. Like with a lot of these characters, she starts out okay, but it pretty quickly turns into everything I do for Midoriya. Girls, these boys aren't shit. Stop it! God, I'll never forget. I don't even remember what episode this is, but there was some episode, I think season like 3 or 4 of My Hero Academia. What season are we on? I don't know. They were in some like simulated fight or something, and like everything around Ochako freezes because Midoriya's in trouble, and she like becomes consumed by the desire to save him. It's very... I was cringing. Well, not it's a... Ugh. It's when the boy is the only thing, okay? Okay, your characters can have a crush on the boy, but it's when the boy is the only thing. Now, the anime audience in the West has grown substantially in recent years, and a very large chunk of this audience is women. Don't get me wrong, women have always watched shonen anime, but attitudes are beginning to shift both in Japan and the West, and some shonen have started to evolve with those changing demographics. Let's talk about our little glimmers of hope. Okay, Jujutsu Kaisen has its problems. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the girls. The girl one in Jujutsu Kaisen is Nobara. She falls a little bit into the tsundere trap. So did Tamari, which if you don't know, a tsundere is a woman who acts bitchy but really cares a lot. They have that hard exterior, but really they're a soft woman on the inside. But I still find her refreshing. She has her own goals, completely separate from those of her male counterparts. She has no romantic interest in any of her male classmates. It's kind of like the bar is so low, but I'll take it. Also, I won't mention spoilers, but if you know, you know. So that's annoying. But while Nobara is an example of the bar being so low, this next show is raising that bar. I'm not really sure if I would consider Dungeon Meshi a shonen, but Marcel is cool as hell. Oh, that kind of rhymed. Marcel is cool as hell. And it's an adventure anime. That's like shonen. So you have this lady elf character who you think is going to be your classic magic healer girl. But then psych, she's actually this badass, insane black magic wizard who regularly holds her own in a fight and is the smartest person in the party by far. And to top it all off, she's gay AF. Happy Pride. Allegedly. I'm I'm obsessed with her. And when you look at Marcel and you compare her to Sakura, the progress made in really such a short amount of time is amazing. In fact, I'd argue that the lines between shonen and shoujo are starting to blur. These genres are not really as separate as they once were. They're just adventure shows. And I think that's neat. Hi! I hope you like this video. It turned out quite a bit shorter than I thought it would, but that's okay. In a world full of 3-hour video essays, we need these. Ooh, whoa, I just kicked my camera. In a world of 3-hour video essays, we need to fill this niche of bite-sized fun bitching about shonens as a 30-year-old person videos, right? If you liked this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more content like this, you can click that subscribe button. I don't know where it is these days, somewhere around here. If you would like to support the channel, links to my Patreon and some merch are in the link tree in the description. There should also be a little doohickey that's popping up here somewhere. Any support means so much to me, and it just makes these videos better and better. So thank you to those with the means to help out. If you didn't like this video, Kishimoto? Is that you? Bye! Shoujo is a genre of anime and manga that targets